welcome back to my channel. In this video we'll be highlighting making pizza at camp and my new Renogy 100 amp hour battery, as well as a few other gadget details. Enjoy! Morning. We're camping at Golden Ears Park, all set up. Just waking up for our first full day. Show you guys the new battery that I have. So right now we just have two batteries in this box. So we have, this is a deep cycle 100 amp hour. So on that battery I have these two connected into an inverter. That's the inverter plugs. So right there, this wire is plugging into the main GFCI. So that's powering the entire AC of the box. So basically this battery is running AC through an inverter. And this is a 500 watt pure sine wave inverter. So I'll just stay running. And then these wires are not doing anything right now. They're just connected to the battery charger, which we're offshore, so we're not doing any charge on them. I did unplug the battery charger from the new battery. This is the new battery. This is the Renogy lithium ion LiFePO4 lithium iron phosphate battery. So that's 100 amp hour. And that one is running the DC, so all the USB plugs inside the trailer and the fan are currently running off this battery. So just like the van, we got AC and DC. Yeah, so this, because it's deep cycle lead acid liquid battery, you can only run this down to 50%. So even though it's 100 amp hours, I'll get 50 amp hours out of this. And this one's 100 amp hours, but because it's LiFePO4, I can get pretty much 90% out of it. So probably only take it down to 80, but you're pretty safe with 90. So out of 100 amp hours, I get 90 useful amp hours. So I have 90 and 50 right now. So after probably 2 days, I'll switch these between AC and DC, because we're probably using, because we have a television inside the camper that's drawing most of the power. We'll probably switch over to this. This one has a much bigger capacity. Yeah, so that's a very simple system. And then when I do have shore power, I plug this over to the shore power, and that'll power the AC, and then I can also power the DC off of it just by running the charger. So the shore power runs the charger, which powers the batteries, and then we pretty much have the same thing in here, except the AC is running front. Instead of the inverter, the AC is running from shore power, and the DC is still running from the batteries, but shore power is going through the battery charger right here and charging the batteries. And this is a Genius charger, but it knows the difference between lead acid and lithium batteries. So some batteries, chargers, they have a mode, so you have to set the mode to lithium for these LiFePO4s, but this one automatically detects it, so you can just let it do its thing. And it'll know to charge the lithium as lithium mode, and the lead acid as lead acid mode. This is M-powered solar string light. So you pretty much just open it up and unroll it. You can see the lights all here. I do have it showing in a different video. Yeah, we had it on last night. I wouldn't say it's a light that you use to find your way, but it definitely gave some ambiance. Two of those, and then it just charges itself back up during the day. And I also have a bunch of different lamps that we were using. So this is the Goal Zero Crush light, and that just uncollapses, and then you have a little lamp. So we have that sitting around, and then I also have this one, which I actually like even better. Another solar, so it's got a little, they both have carabiners built in. There, solar panel is charging itself now. Uncollapses, it's got several different modes. And this is probably the best little setup. I think Eddie Bauer's selling these now. I think they bought the company that's making these.
These little lanterns, they're really good. And here's the string light at nighttime. Breakfast on the Camp Chef. Look at that.
Had the Jackery running the fridge and it got down to 60 some percent, so I switched over to the Bluetti and then plugged that back into the fridge so it's running again. And I got the solar panel, the Bluetti SP200 200 watt panel. That's an advanced solar panel that you can cover one panel and it still generates from the other panels, so they're independent. And then we have very little sun here. And we're still getting 11 watts, so we're getting something. I might have to move it around, find some better sun over here, but now I'm portable, so that's good. We got 15 watts going in. Anytime you can pretty much see a shadow, you can get some power, but there's a bit of a cloud cover you can really see, and then we got trees up there blocking most of the sunlight, but we still get 15 watts, so that'll charge the Jackery while I'm using the Bluetti.
After COVID, getting out into nature and looking at these beautiful lakes, and you can really appreciate nature and the beautiful blue sky.
Still charging. Same day, we're getting 8 to 7 watts right now. We were getting 72 over in a little bit earlier, but we're up to 72%. And the Bluetti's still charging the fridge inside, so really good to have two and then to be able to move this around and charge it. Our Coleman Instant Setup screened canopy, and it takes very little time to set up. You can see by the exoskeleton. It's a little flimsier if you don't kind of tie it down or anything, but unless it's windy, you can pretty much get away with just setting it up. Pretty much you unfold those elbows and stretch out the middle section first, being careful to not allow any sideways torque as you extend those and snap them in place. And once all those are done, you pretty much just have to extend the legs and you're ready to roll. The screen's all attached. It does have a hook in the middle for a lantern, so I usually find it's pretty high unless you have someone really tall, and I generally lower it a lot with a nice big S hook clip, which I have here on my solar charged lantern, which is getting charged again from the sun. I have some string lights come all set up, the M-powered system. And the other one is Hasika, that's it. Canopy, this goes over any hatch. It comes with these two poles and set up quite fast. And I just have my own pegs because I don't like the pegs, but these work really well. These tighteners, these tension the ropes really well. And then the other side, I got my own poles. I find the suction cups don't stay very well, so yeah, I just use my own poles on this side and then tie it down, and it works really well on any hatchback.
This game called Mulkey is amazing. You guys should check it out.
So with our current setup, it's nice that we can always disconnect the Jeep and take it for a run to get some ice or go into town if we need to. We have wheel lock that we can put on and a hitch lock. And a couple levels there, so when it's disconnected, we can level it out. I think a bubble level is probably the best thing. Fried potatoes. Camp Chef barbecue. Check out the steaks on this cast iron grill.
I can't believe how versatile the Camp Chef has been for us. We made all kinds of meals, breakfasts, lunch, dinners, even pizza. I'll go into that in a little bit. But man, look at the quality of these steaks. Can't be beat.
A little bit of rain, so we set up a tarp over top. And we are covered. A tarp over a canopy, close to another canopy. Right on rain. Camp Chef Explorer 2. Let's get it going. Look at the BTUs. Ropes. And you can see that it hooks over top. I have a tensioner on the top. And these tensioners are really good that you can get on Amazon. So it just pulls straight up here and then you crank down and it just tightens. And you just pull back up to release it. And you can clip this anywhere, right? So get a bunch of these and pre-make some ropes with some circles so that you can do some nice tent pegs. And I recommend getting some thicker tent pegs too, so you can pound them into anything. These little ones that different things come with, like tents, they just bend and don't go through past any rocks or anything. So you can see the thickness is almost as thick as my finger. And they glow in the dark on the top, so you can see them. Yeah, these yellow ropes, you can pre-make them with some loops and then get a couple of these fasteners. And then a loop to go over the top of each pole. And you're good to go. So now I've got my Renogy lithium Life PO4 battery. It's clipped into the inverter. The inverter's running, so that's powering the AC for the trailer. I switched my DC over to the other battery because that is very much a smaller draw, because it's only charging phones and Apple Watches and things. It does power all the USBs, gives power to them, but we don't use it for much more than that. So after a few days of use, I switched them between the two so that we have plenty of juice to run the television, which is probably about 60 watts. Some breakfast dogs, little slices to make them cook nice. Toast the buns, add some eggs in there, and of course some onions. Breakfast dogs, look at that. Some egg and onions, cheese, chipotle mayo. Got a little tarp, it's pouring. We're making little irrigation ditches to keep the water out of the canopy. Instead of a pizza oven, we're basically doing Camp Chef and then a grill. And then we just put a little sheet over top with some legs and then a pan lid that's made to keep the heat in. And we're just heating these pizzas. They're gonna crisp up nicely. Throw a little steak on them, it'll be great. So crispy, nice and crispy. Look at this pizza. Toasty on the bottom. Here's our Camp Chef pizza. Look how crispy that is. Just pick it straight up. Melted cheese. Oh yeah. So we got the naan bread. Crispy naan bread as the base. Delicious. Our crispy naan bread baked on our stove. This huge amount of ingredients and it's still crisp at the point where it's still holding it, no problem. It's so tasty for it. It's kind of like a thin crust. Amazing and delicious pizza at camp in only about 10 to 12 minutes after you've battered it all together and thrown it on the grill. Awesome, so tasty. So thanks for joining us for this video. I hope you found something that inspired you to get a new gadget or
solve an issue you're having at the camp. All right, thanks for joining us. Bye.